the government, per the data available, saw that mobile money continued to remain the biggest payment solution in the country, with an estimated 905.1 billion Ghanaian cedis, to mean annually in the year of 2021, 905 billion Ghanaian cedis was moved digitally. Now, according to data from the Bank of Ghana, the value of mobile money transactions in January of 2021 was the lowest at 67.1%, and in July, 67.1 billion cedis rather, and in July at 99.1 billion was the highest. So in January, there wasn't a lot of movement in 2021. Obviously, it's January, but in July, it hit its peak. Now, during the 2022 budget proposal, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta proposed the electronic levy, initially pegged at 1.75% and later revised down to 1.5%. Now, the government looked at the figures that you were moving, 905 billion, and saw potential there and said, how do we tap into this potential? Introduce the E-Levy at 1.75%, and if we peg it at 1.75%, the government was hoping to raise 6.9 billion Ghanaian cedis. This data is provided by Stats Ghana. Now, what services will be charged the E-Levy tax? We have mobile money will be charged, bank transfer will be charged, merchant payment, and inward remittances. Now, charges on transaction will be above 100 cedis. So if you're sending 100 cedis and above a day, you are going to be charged the 1.75%. Now, how much is government looking to collect? The government is expecting to make around 6.93 billion shillings if we use 1.75% in 2022, because originally they were expecting to pass this bill by February. We are already in March, and with this delay, even if they pass the E-Levy today, there would be a shortfall of around 580 million Ghanaian cedis, because they intended to start their collections in February, and now we're in March. Let's take a pause. Let's make all this make sense. So the government, you're looking at a government that is sinking in bad debt. Debt to GDP ratio is expected to hit 84% at the end of the year. High interest payment, revenue to GDP is over 50%. Then you're looking at a ballooning expenditure. The budget keeps growing every day, and also an ever ballooning budget deficit this year at 37.5 billion. It needs money. It can't go back to the IMF. IMF's money comes with conditionalities, taxes. Ghanaians are up to the throat with their taxes, to mean the government has to look at alternative sources. E-Levy, 6.9 billion Ghanaian cedis. And the government says, we are not the only country that is introducing E-Levy. Other countries have done it. Well, let's see how they did. Uganda introduced E-Levy at 2% and later on had to retract and reduce the amount because it wasn't doing really well. And mobile money transactions in Uganda fell by over 20%. In Malawi, it was introduced at 1%, but the government retracted. That is how the E-Levy performed in these countries. Now, E-Levy is meeting a little bit of hesitation, and when I say a little bit, I'm being modest. It has been met with a lot of hesitation in Ghana, and the reason being that mobile money transactions will drop by 24% should E-Levy come into play, and the government will also not be able to collect the 6.9 billion that it is predicting. If I'm to go to the extremes, I'd say the government currently, as is, many economists have said, is broke. That's for you to decide. Either it goes back to the IMF, like Zambia has done, and its currency is no longer the worst, the Ghanaian cedi is, or the E-Levy passes. Something has to give. Question is, which will? That's all we had for you on Business Brief.